There are 7 seas and 700 cruise ships.
70,000 crew members and 7 million passengers. Each has a story to tell.
Every week we take you onto the bridge, below the decks and behind the scenes.
So pack your bags, it's time to seize the day.
I'm Catherine O'Connor, and unlike James, I'm definitely a cruise virgin.
Which, Catherine, to be honest, that's a very, very sad state of affairs at your age.
Be nice. I've never been on a ship, and let's face it, like a lot of people, I'm yet to be convinced.
And I couldn't be any more different. My name's James Hardy and I'm a total cruise crazy. So much so, Catherine, that for years and years and years, my friends have called me... years and years. Julie, the cruise director. And now I couldn't work out why. And then I did some Googling and I thought... I hope it's not because of my love of a buffet. I'm not sure they're being...
I'm staying away from that one.
I'm not sure they're being particularly kind.
Each week, we'll feature a live at sea interview with industry insiders. It could be a captain, pastry chef, a butler, or even a cruise director.
Catherine, you said you wouldn't go there. No matter what questions you've got about the industry, we're going to have the answers for you here each week. Now, it could be how to find the very best discounts, to questions about tipping, seasickness, cabin selection, drink packages, or even something I think everyone's going to be interested in, how to score an upgrade.
Yes, please. We'll be sailing off each episode to the most exotic ports in the world. One week it could be the Med, maybe the south of France, Italy, or what about Croatia? The next could be the tropical Bahamas, or even if we're lucky, the sublime Bora Bora.
So whether you're on a tight budget or you're pondering a 6-star experience for the first time, planning a honeymoon, family vacation, or even a canal boat on the grand rivers of Europe.
So what are we waiting for? It's now or never.
It's time to seize the day.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our second episode, which hopefully means our first one didn't stink.
Or suck, or sink. We don't want to suck or stink or sink like Rose and Jack on the Titanic, do we, Catherine? No. Okay, so let's try and recover this. We've got a great interview, a feature interview lined up today. We're going off the coast of the Isle of Capri, which is just sublime. And it's a mega ship. It's the Harmony of the Seas. And we're going to be joined by a fellow hostie. Actually, Graham probably wouldn't like that term because he's an onboard manager. He's probably a step above a hostie, I think he would say. And he's also a senior agent with KVI Travel. We're also going to be joined with one of our regular panellists, Val Hayden. She is also a hostie. And so, Catherine, have you been to the Isle of Capri before?
No, I haven't, but it's somewhere I would love to go.
Okay, well, do an I Dream of Jeannie, and away we go. And Graham, your accent, I've got a thing for anyone from Australia who doesn't sound like an Australian. And for years...
You almost said exotic then. I was thinking, I don't know about that.
No, well, for us, English boys sound exotic. My partner's American, and he's got this gorgeous American accent.
Oh, he does, yeah.
And we were speaking to Audrey earlier this morning, and she's French, and she started speaking French, and I was going, oh my God. It's so exotic.
In other words, you're anyone.
I think if you told her she's French, I think she might be a bit offended.
No, but yes, I said the way you were speaking French, like she speaks French Canadian. So
yes.
Okay, so first of all, welcome, Graham. And Graham, if you could explain where you're calling in from, the ship you're on, where you're cruising to, and we've got probably a million questions for you.
Okay, so right now I'm in the beautiful port of Naples on Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas, which is absolutely beautiful. And to make it even more wonderful, we're in their Royal Loft Suite, which is absolutely outstanding. We're doing a 7-day itinerary, which started in Barcelona and ends up back in Barcelona in a couple of days' time. So, yeah, it's been fantastic to get away from the miserable weather in the UK, although I believe they've had good weather while we've been away. But yeah, it's beautiful sunshine, it's heaven, absolutely wonderful.
So, Graham, have you been on this ship before?
I haven't. I've only done one Royal Caribbean cruise before, which was about 10 years ago on Independence of the Seas. This ship is very, very different. It's a lot more modern, Harmony.
When you say modern, how modern is, like, how old is this one?
2016, I think it was built.
Oh, so fairly recent.
Yeah, yeah. It has a much more modern feel to it. I think the older Royal Caribbean ships have sort of lots of pastel colours everywhere. It's sort of quite. I'm trying to think how to explain it. If you go to the Caribbean, when you stay in hotels in the Caribbean, there's lots of pinks and light blues and stuff like that.
Sort
and
of
that's
pastel
what their
colours.
yeah, that's how their ships were sort of decorated. It's a bit more modern now. The style of the suites and the cabins is a lot more. There's a lot more wood
and purple
I don't know
throw
how
cushions.
Yes.
well, it's funny because you mentioned the
There's
throw
so
cushions.
much purple and
There's a lot of purple in the suite, but it doesn't offend me. It's really, the suite's so enormous that you don't notice.
and
Are you serious? Purple's my favourite colour,
I was
and
explaining
I'm
to
still
Catherine,
like
and
overwhelmed.
we've gone back and forth about the photos of your gorgeous cabin, and I'm saying those cushions, they have to, and that carpet. But I was
Are you
explaining
sure
to Catherine,
Elvis is dead?
the photos of cruise ships and the brochures and things, until you get on board, you can't. The photos don't do them justice.
Absolutely, I think that's quite right. Although I have to say the photos that I saw of this suite before we came on, I think did do it justice because it's every bit as wonderful.
So
as
if
it
you can
appears
just
in the
walk us through
brochures
the
and stuff.
suite, do you come in on the top level or downstairs, and how many bedrooms?
So you-
and
You, you come in on the ground level, and as you walk in, there's a sort of little atrium area, and then you're greeted by a grand piano, which is heaven for me because I play the piano.
Oh, really?
do you?
Oh,
wow.
gorgeous.
I'm walking you through it at the moment. Yes, I do play the piano, much to the neighbours' annoyance, I suspect, both at home and on board the ship. But
Wouldn't
hey,
they have pianos as well on board? But they can't play them,
no,
obviously.
James, this is the only piano in a suite.
So
But
tell me,
I-
can you hear the neighbours next door? If they can hear you, can you hear what they're doing?
I do know. I've no idea if they can hear me, and in all honesty,
Okay, that's a relief.
I don't know that we do have any neighbours. The ship has a capacity of, I think it's 6,700, and there are about 1,300 guests on board.
Okay, so let's not
So-
get distracted. Let's pull you back to
Oh,
your
sorry, I
cabin.
beg your pardon.
No,
So
well,
we're
no,
back
because-
we're back by the grand piano.
Yes, it's only because the reason Catherine is my co-host. Catherine has never been on a ship. She's not convinced about cruising, and so Catherine is our voice of reason, saying, "I'm not." What is this
Okay.
ship like? So Catherine is going to throw in a lot of questions about what's the bathroom like. You know, where does it all go?
Let me
All that
tell
sort
you
of
more. Let me
Sure.
tell you more about the suite then. So, as you come in, after you, opposite the grand piano is a guest bedroom and a guest bathroom.
That sounds ridiculous.
still-
Opposite-
It does. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's a guest bathroom, a guest bedroom. This suite is perfect for families.
So is that
you know,
a queen that converts to two twins, or?
absolutely, yes. It's pretty much like a standard cruise ship cabin.
Because
It's almost
Graham, anytime I check into a hotel or I phone up for a reservation, do you want two queens or a king? I go, I'll take two queens any day.
and a king. So anyway, so there's that almost a little self-contained area, bedroom, double bedroom, bathroom. And then as you move further into the suite, there's the beautiful purple area, as you've all been commenting on, which has seating for thousands of people. There's a television, all the things you'd expect. It's double height windows. I mean, you get this most amazing view out the back of the ship because you've got 2 stories worth of full-size windows. Absolutely beautiful. There's
looks
also a dining.
It really does.
It
and,
is.
and actually, because I'm looking at the photographs that you've posted on Facebook, and so I think we're all looking at it. So we've got a good visual idea here.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing? I can see the grand piano, and yes, the double-story windows, and that looks like a nice outdoor patio area you've got there.
Yeah.
And then a dining table as well. So presumably you can have in-room dining. Perhaps the chef prepares you a special dinner for your,
Well,
or is it
You
basically a takeaway burger?
I think, yeah, there is a dining table which seats 8 people, and room service is available, but it's not sort of like Seabourn or Silver Sea where you can order room service and have it served course by course. It's
Okay.
not quite that. However, with star class suites, of which this is one, there are 3 categories of suites which fall into the star class group on this ship. You have what they call a genie, which some people would say is a bit like a butler, but he's.
It sounds like Barbara Eden.
So you read all the hype about what the genie does on board for you, and he is there at your beck and call, or she. There are female genies too, but he really does do absolutely everything for us. We've got our little WhatsApp group, and it's not an irritating. He contacts us constantly to check we're okay. Wherever we are on the ship, he seems to appear with something for us, little gift or
anywhere on the ship. So it's not restricted to your cabin. Or that sort of stuff.
No, he looks after you throughout the ship. So
he'll just turn up at dinner and go, "Here's a rose, Graham."
Well, he would. He does meet us before dinner every evening.
Oh, does he?
Takes to our table, yeah. And then for like entertainment, he will reserve us seats, which is it's a little bit embarrassing.
That's outrageous. That's a little bit like the first class experience with BA or Qantas, where you walked through the terminal. It sounds like that.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you're paying for it, you know. Yeah. So, but yeah, he makes sure you get the best seats everywhere. He does all your dinner reservations. When you've got a star class suite, you have unlimited specialty dining in any of the specialty restaurants. And so we're going through them all one by one. Yeah.
So clarification in terms of on the ship, is this the best cabin on the ship or one of them? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the biggest and best. Yeah.
Sure.
So the balcony is absolutely enormous, and we've never used a balcony as much as we have on this ship. So there is a bar area, a wet bar area, should you have a cocktail party or what have you. Then there's a dining table out there which seats 4 people. There's a sort of lounge area with 2 sunbeds, a coffee table, 4 seats. And then you move around to the side of the ship because the balcony sort of wraps around the corner. And on that side of the balcony, there's another lounge area with a jacuzzi. It's absolutely enormous. So yes, the balcony is the best balcony we've ever had on any ship, and as I say, we've used it a lot.
And that's stern facing.
Sunbathing on the ship.
Did you mention it's stern facing, so you see the wake, or?
Yes, it's at the back of the ship. It's overlooking a sports area. That's one of the downsides to it, although that could be seen as a plus side. There's a sort of basketball court. Depends who you are. There's a basketball court and tennis court and stuff. So there's kids doing sporty things there. And also beyond that, something Royal Caribbean has on, I think all of their ships now, is something called Flow Rider, which is a sort of surf simulator.
Have you done
and
that,
there are actually 2 on the ship.
Oh, wow.
No, because I would be rubbish. We can move on to my sporting activities later, but no, I haven't done that. I really would be absolutely awful, too embarrassing.
Okay, so
we can see them from here, so that's quite nice.
Okay, so to pull you back, we're moving upstairs. We've gone up the stairs.
Okay, so we're going to move upstairs. Then upstairs is a huge, super duper king size bed. It's enormous, with a sort of chaise
or 2
longue
queens
and or 2 queens. Do you know? I don't know if it can be 2 queens. It must be. I don't know.
I thought it already was.
And there's a nice dressing table area. Then behind the bed is a sort of open plan wardrobe dressing room sort of area, and there is so much storage space. It's a lot of cupboards. But there's plenty.
Graham, a lot of people go away on cruises that are 35, 70 days even. And so they're going to need a heap of space, aren't they?
And in fact,
we're on this for 7 days, and we've filled nearly every space available. So.
Have you?
And you're saying, Valerie, it's such a luxury being a hostie or coming from that background to just be able to unpack.
And
it's the most wonderful feeling.
Keep the Samsonite under the bed, and you don't see it for a week. With like a Seabourn or a Silver Sea, etc., the butler will unload your baggage if you wanted to. I'd be too scared to do that. Would the genie do that on Royal Caribbean or not?
Do you know? I don't know if he would. At the
He
moment,
probably
he
goes
wouldn't.
through your
'cause
luggage if you're not there, Graham.
I don't know about that, but has anyone actually ever asked their butler on Silversea to unpack their case or
Well,
repack
that's a
for
good
them?
question for another episode, because when we're talking about Seabourn and or Silversea that has the butlers, I want to get into what the butler will do and what they won't.
So I'm moving to the bathroom. The bathroom is probably the size of a standard suite cabin.
You've got a shower, I guess, a bath separate, and
So
all
there's
the
this
double
huge
mirrors,
bath,
double
which
vanities.
it's a double-sized bath, and then there's a big open sort of wet space which has 2 showers and an overhead rainforest shower. So should you wish to shower with someone else, you can. And then the genie. No, we don't want to shower with the genie.
Did you just rub my back at me?
And then there's a double sink, all the things you usually expect. And of course, the one thing that is in all these things that no one ever uses, a bidet. Does anyone use a bidet?
Well, if you
Actually,
French,
let's not have that
maybe French or
conversation.
Yeah,
Italian,
I was going to
maybe?
say, no, let's not go there.
Okay, so Graham, and can you get access to your suite from the main floor? What about from upstairs? Can you go out from that level or not? Or do you have to
No, when you're upstairs, there is no exterior to that.
Okay.
No,
and then
just go back
capacity,
downstairs.
you're talking about the king size upstairs, queen size or king downstairs. So that's 4. Is the sofa bed an option for families or not?
Yeah, I believe the capacity is 7. I think off the top of my head, I can't remember, James. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, we can find that out later. Now, your impressions of the ship, your top 3 moments on the ship in terms of this is a wow factor, the top 3 in terms of food, the buffet, all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure how much time you've got, so I don't want to...
No, I've got plenty of time.
Oh,
Plenty of time.
Okay,
I mean, it goes without saying that the top thing, the biggest wow, was walking into the suite, because we've never seen anything like it. So that goes without saying. You know, it's obviously number 1. Number 2, I suppose on these ships they have something called Central Park, which is literally a park in the middle of the ship, with real trees, plants. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's quite a nice, quiet area to go and have a drink without sort of too much activity on around you.
Is this the ship that's got the diving pool at the back? Is that one of these ships?
It does. So they have an Aqua Theater at the back of the ship, and they do shows there. I think there's 2 shows in a week. That is absolutely outstanding. I've never seen anything like it. You just do not expect to have that on a cruise ship. It's difficult to put into words what it's like, but you have people diving stories high. I don't know how high they dive into this tiny little pool below.
And in terms of your position on the ship, you're actually above that. So I would guess the main level would be where that pool level is probably 10 or 12, and then you go up another 10 levels to the pool deck. What level?
We're on deck 17.
Okay, which must be
and I'm just moving outside, actually. Sorry?
You must be up by the pool deck and all the recreation areas you were talking about before.
Yeah, well, although the ship is enormous, everything is sort of...
It's in neighbourhoods.
Zones, so it just... Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you're on an absolutely enormous ship. And so it's really difficult to put where you are into context with everywhere else, because you just feel like you're in this little, as you say, neighborhood, they're called, and you don't really feel where it is in respect of everywhere else on the ship. And the good thing about that is that you don't feel like you're on a ship that has a capacity of 6,700 people. And surprisingly, it's easy to get around. I thought, you know, when you first get on a cruise ship, you think, oh God, I'm going to have to look around, work out where everything is, and you start getting stressed about it in a way. Yeah. Well, I do, because I think I need to know where absolutely everything is.
The worst thing is you get lost. Where's the dining room? Where's the theatre? What else? The food, the restaurants, the...
Food, so the suite guests have access to somewhere called Coastal Kitchen, which is a restaurant and bar specifically for suite guests. We haven't eaten in there a great deal, I have to say, because we were able to eat in all the specialty restaurants as well. We've been trying all those out, for which there's normally a surcharge, but if you're booked in a star class suite, it's included in the price. I think the best one we've eaten so far is called 150 Central Park. It is called 150 Central Park. I think I'm right in saying this is because it's located 150 feet from the front and 150 feet from the back or something like that. There's some reason, I can't remember. But the food in there is excellent. It's their fine dining restaurant. So the food in there was absolutely excellent.
And now what about the buffet? What is that still open?
Well,
special restrictions?
The buffet on Royal Caribbean ships, it's the Windjammer, it's called. And our experience on Independence of the Seas many years ago wasn't a great one, and it was something that we avoided. However, on this ship, it's been wonderful. The food in there is actually very good for a buffet. There are staff serving behind all of us with counters and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're serving you all your food.
Graham, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. Safe
Lovely
travels.
meeting you, Graham.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care,
Thanks,
Catherine.
Graham.
You too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Have
Bye,
fun.
Val.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Thanks to Val and especially Graham.
And so, Catherine, work with me here. Was there anything you saw or heard about that incredible ship that has intrigued you enough to think maybe, just maybe, I'll pack my bags and run away to sea?
That's easy. The loft, the glass, the 2 levels, the piano.
Pick another favourite quickly before we go.
Harmony of the Seas Central Park. That's my favourite by far.
Royal Caribbean has been the pioneer in the industry of designing these mega ships. It's a destination within itself. It's a totally different type of cruising. It's not for everyone. I'm not sure it's for you for your first cruise. Now, have a guess what my favourite was of the whole interview, of the whole ship.
That's easy. The genie.
I think we all need a bit of Barbara Eden in our lives.
Magic.
So next week, we've got a surprise for you, Catherine. We're heading off to Seabourn. Now, Seabourn is my favourite cruise line in the world.
Wow.
It's 6-star luxury. I can't describe every element of the experience you have on board, from the time you wake up in the morning to throughout the day, all the activities, the staff, the food. There's unlimited caviar, open bar. I just can't start to tell you how excited I am about being able to share Seabourn with you. And so that's next week.
I never thought I'd be saying this, James, but I think I might be a little bit excited about what's on our next episode.
Catherine, a little bit. Are you kidding me? Come on, work with me.
Baby steps, James, baby steps.
Okay, so if you love what we do here, if you've enjoyed that last episode and you want more, and I know you're desperate for us. You're desperate for more. We've got a little favour to ask, and that's to help ensure the algorithm on this platform won't sink us like Rose and Jack on the Titanic.
Oh my God, you'll drive them away.
So favour number 1, please hit the subscribe button. You'll find down below. And there's also a little bell that will make sure you get a notification every time we've got a new episode. And finally, please be our friends. Remember to like us, please, please, please.
Got any questions for our feature guest this week? Just pop them in the comment section below and they'll answer them especially for you. Remember, for an audio version of each episode, search for us wherever you download your favourite podcasts.
So until next week, Catherine, pack your bags. You need to get off to the doctor and get a script for all those seasickness meds I know you're going to bring on that first cruise. And never, ever forget our motto here at Plain Sailing. What is it, Catherine? Seize the day.